Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Camila and welcome to this Sims 4 speed build. And it's a Saturday, which is not my usual upload day, but there's a reason why I'm uploading today, and that's because I'm collaborating with 20 simmers all around the world to create a Willow Creek save file that's inspired by New Orleans, as the title and the thumbnail probably suggest. But yeah, so this collab was created by Erin with a Y over on Instagram, but we are gonna take over YouTube as well, as you can see. And I strongly suggest that you go check out all the other creations, because I saw some sneak peeks and I have to say they are so detailed and so beautiful, all of them. And so I'm honestly curious myself to go and watch and see what the others did, because yeah, I only saw some glimpses of their stuff, and so yeah, I hope they like my entry too, of course, but yeah, I'm very curious to see what they did. As I was telling you, Erin with a Y created this collab some time ago, like I think 2 months ago, after the release of the paranormal stuff pack, because she was very inspired by it and she wanted to create a save file, like another version of the Willow Creek world in which everything was inspired by New Orleans and the atmosphere that characterizes that city. And I think that in general Willow Creek is kind of inspired by New Orleans, so we had like a great starting point, I have to say. Each one of us built something on a different lot, and so you'll see that we have put together an entire save file, as I was telling you, but it's very like varied, because you'll see that Erin kind of like thought this one through like a lot, very deeply, because every neighborhood in Willow Creek is inspired by an actual neighborhood in New Orleans, with its own character, its own builds, its own like architectural style. Of course, everything is kind of cohesive, but every single neighborhood has its own like different drive. So if you want a more laid back feel, you can come here where I'm building, or if you want to go in the middle of chaos and like city life, let's say, you can go where the community lots are. And then we have another neighborhood with very grand and elegant builds. There's everything you could possibly need or wish for in this save file, and I think I'm gonna just talk to you about my neighborhood, like the neighborhood I built in, because I don't want to spoil the rest of it for you. I want you to go and check out what the others built, as I told you, especially on Instagram, because I don't think everyone is gonna post a speed build, but I think everyone is gonna post something on their Instagram. So, but before that, actually, maybe I'll just talk to you about what I'm building here so that it makes sense. I was inspired by a picture that someone shared over on our group chat. There were very different types of buildings that you could find in New Orleans, and I was inspired by the design of a double shotgun, and so I decided to build some sort of double shotgun bungalow. I think it's kind of appropriate and it's kind of realistic, but you will tell me, because of course I've never been to New Orleans. But yeah, the chat seemed pretty happy with my work, so I think I nailed it. This double shotgun, of course, hosts 2 different homes. So we have this one that we are decorating now, which is more messy, I'd like to say, and it's more colorful, because when I searched on Pinterest for some suggestions and some inspiration for builds in New Orleans, the style that we can find in New Orleans, I noticed that there were 2 different kinds of interior design that you could go for. Either a very colorful, almost like in your face kind of interior, so with a lot of different patterns, with a lot of different colors and textures, and another one which was more black and white, more neutral and more elegant. So I went for this double perspective, let's say, and I was happy because I actually had 2 different homes to furnish. And so this one is more messy and full of colors and textures, as I was telling you, and the other one is more elegant and is tidier for sure. And I think that the family, especially the parents who live there, are kind of pretentious. Maybe because I don't think this would be the location for that kind of interior style, but I think they kind of want to feel like a wealthier family than they actually are. So I thought of this backstory to make it all make sense, let's say. The house we're furnishing now is for a grandma and her granddaughter, while the other one is a family home for a couple of parents and their 2 kids. I think that maybe the granddaughter of this grandma here is a teen, and also there's a teen on the other, like in the other house. Maybe they're very close childhood friends, and I think that maybe between the teens is growing something more than a friendship. Maybe they are kind of in love with each other, I don't know. And either way, they are kind of best friends, also with the other kid, who I imagine was a sister. But yeah, so I'm gonna read, as I was telling you, the description of my neighborhood. This is supposed to be Foundry Cove in The Sims 4, but in the save file, it's gonna be Bayou St. John. I hope I'm just saying it right and not butchering the name. Erin wrote this: so, bordered by its namesake waterway, Bayou St. John is a quiet neighborhood close to the fairgrounds, site of the annual Jazz and Heritage Festival. Kayakers glide along the bayou while picnickers on the banks sample specialties from nearby sandwich shops. The 1799 Pilot House is a landmark Creole colonial home with a museum and a parlor garden, while pedestrian Cabrini Bridge has sweeping views of the bayou. And her thoughts on Bayou were: this to me is a more laid-back feel than the hustle and bustle of the French Quarter. There are smaller, more modest homes sitting on the water. Okay, so this was the concept that we wanted to work with. And so since I was dealing with a rather big lot, but this neighborhood is supposed to be kind of laid back, as she wrote, I didn't feel like building a mansion or something huge with a huge backyard or side yard or whatever. So I went for this idea of splitting the lot into 2 parts basically. And I think this is a rather cute house in my opinion. I'm very happy with what I did here. So yeah, I hope that you will enjoy it too. I hope I didn't do anything wrong or that's not realistic, because if that was the case, it wasn't my intention for sure. We're almost done with the first house, which is actually my favorite one of the 2, so I'm kind of sad that I talked over it completely. We're just finishing the grandma's bedroom, and I also thought that the grandma is kind of a medium, a psychic, and she doesn't want her granddaughter to know, but the granddaughter is much smarter than she thinks, and she discovered it all by herself, and she's kind of into paranormal stuff too. So you probably saw me placing down a crystal ball and some other details that could suggest this, like that hand with all of those words and symbols all over it. And I just think that they are gonna be a very nice couple of mediums or paranormal crimes fighters. I don't know. I think that at some point the grandma will just call the granddaughter and tell her to sit down because she has something to tell her, and the daughter is gonna be like, yeah, I know, you don't have to explain anything because I already know. And yeah, I think that's gonna be a very nice turning point for them, because they can team up and start fighting crime. I don't know, paranormal crime. Yeah, whatever. I also like the landscaping that I did on this lot, especially on the grandma side of the lot. Yeah, kind of repeating myself here, I don't know. But yeah, it's very lush, very colorful, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. They also have a cat because I had room for it, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of a magical creature in mythology and common general culture, I don't know. So I thought, yeah, they need a cat. And the other household doesn't have anything, like they're just 4 people without any pet. and I had more fun building the other house, furnishing the other part of the house, because this one is very neutral, and I like to play with colors when building a house of this style, because I think you can basically do whatever you want. It's so nice. It's a very nice architectural style to play with, and also interior style more than architectural. So the other house, the second house, let's say, is much more neutral. As I was telling you, I used the base game counters and countertops in the black swatch, which I've never done. I also used a shelf from Eco Lifestyle, and I sized it down to act like storage, because what I gathered by looking at pictures on Pinterest, this kind of interior style, so the more elegant one, is not cluttered, like not so much, not as much as the other one for sure. And so I kind of worked my way around it, because I still wanted it to have some kind of personality. And so I placed a lot of trays and open shelving units also. And yeah, I also sized down that cart from Nifty Knitting and placed it on the counter. I thought it looked nice. And also I used the countertops, those black countertops, also in white actually, to act like storage in the entryway and also in the parents' bedroom as like their dresser. I don't know, I thought the style was perfect, so I didn't want to choose something else. And I think in just a second I will switch the flooring for some kind of tile. It's not, I don't think it's marble, but yeah, some kind of tile, because as I was telling you, they're trying to mimic the more elegant look. So I thought that they would probably switch those older looking hardwood floors for something more modern and more close to their style. I don't know. Oh, and before I forget, I just wanted to say that the grandma and the granddaughter probably have like a green thumb. You saw me placing down some planters, and I think they, especially the grandma, likes to grow her magical herbs and magical flowers that she can do some kind of potions with them. I don't know. But anyway, the children's bedroom here, I built it before the bunk bed update, so you won't see any bunk bed in this build. I just, like, for a second I thought I could use one, but then I liked the layout that I went for very much, so I didn't feel like changing it. And the children's bedroom, I think, is very cheerful and more colorful than the rest of the house, and of course it's my favorite room, because yeah, I loved the mixed and matched furniture and decorations. It's not cluttered, but it's kind of messy still, with a lot of posters on the walls and stuff laying around everywhere. And I think it's so different from the parents' bedroom, because the parents' bedroom is, yeah, as you can see, very tidy and very grand and almost out of place here, I think. And I also had the chance to use that amazing clock from Vintage Glamour, that golden clock that looks like a sun. It's kind of tacky, but I also love it. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I think that's pretty much it, because we are just gonna clutter up the kids' bedroom, especially as I was telling you, with posters rather than actual clutter. We'll decorate their backyard, which I think it's very cozy. We have a nice seating area, a dining spot, and some stuff for the kids. Like we have a kiddie pool, which can actually be used by adults too, and a swing set. They also have an easel outside, because I didn't know what to do with the spare space I had, and I thought that a skill building item would be nice and useful. So yeah. Also, the kids have their own kind of private balcony here off to the bedroom, and I used it as a play area with a dollhouse and a toy box, because I didn't have the space in their room. Actually, I just placed the dresser and the desk inside while the bigger toys are outside, and I thought it was kind of a nice and smart addition. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this video on this Saturday morning, and I really encourage you to go and check out what the others built. I will have their Instagram handles here in the description. And yeah, just go check out their work too, because they did something amazing, I'm sure of it. But if you like this video, please remember to leave a like, a comment, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are so close to 600 subscribers. I've kind of been repeating it in the past videos because I'm so excited and I just can't believe it. But yeah, consider subscribing if you like what you see, and I'll see you all in my next video, and have a great day. Bye everybody.